In this video, I'm going to show you how to meet new people and make friends while traveling. I'm Sam Lepak, the founder of Rich Nomads, the place where individuals go to find the secrets and shortcuts to maximize their work from home and travel lifestyle. And if you're looking to avoid feeling lonely while traveling and instead want to find easy ways to make friends all over the world, then you'll love this video. Keep watching. It may be hard to believe, but meeting people and making friends while traveling solo can be scary. And this is one of the biggest concerns I hear from people before they go traveling, whether it be solo or abroad. They say, oh my God, what happens if I don't meet any new people or make any friends? What if I become lonely or they don't even like me? Or I'll hear, how do I approach people and start a conversation? If you've ever been nervous to meet someone new before, don't worry, you're not alone. These are the same questions that almost everyone asks themselves before they go traveling solo or abroad. And to be honest, sometimes I still even get nervous when I'm going somewhere new for the first time and don't know anyone. However, everywhere in the world I've traveled to, whether it's been solo, studying abroad as a student, or with a travel partner, I always seem to meet new people and make friends who make the travel experiences and stories that much better. And of course, not everyone you meet is going to be a lifelong friend, nor will they all be someone you want to hang out with. And that's okay. The majority of friends I've made while solo traveling have just happened. And as you know, we can't predict the future, but we can put ourselves in the position to increase the chance of meeting new people and making friends while traveling. There are many components that affect making new friends. These core components include approaches and mindsets, experiences, shared accommodations and spaces, travel communities, and a few other bonuses I'll share later. Before we dive into those components, I want to let you in on a little secret. And that secret is to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm and also to ring the notification bell to be reminded of new videos. It would greatly help me out since these videos take me a very long time to create and produce. Okay, back to the secret. What most people don't realize is that traveling solo actually makes you more approachable in comparison to traveling with a group or a partner. Personally, I find it 10 times easier to make new friends while solo traveling than I do when I'm with people. How so, you may ask? Well, as crazy as this sounds, when you're with someone else that you already have an established relationship with, it makes you less inclined to want to meet other people and start conversations because you are already comfortable with that other person and don't need other relationships. Plus, when you're solo traveling, you're actually more approachable to other people. This is because other people feel more confident to come and have a conversation with you because it's far less intimidating to approach and speak to one person than it is speaking to a group of people. Okay, now it's time to dive into the 5 components of making new friends. First up is approaches and mindsets. Spoiler alert, the most effective approaches and mindsets to meeting new people and making friends while traveling solo are not earth-shattering discoveries. Sorry to spoil, but these are timeless tactics for starting and having authentic conversations. We'll start off with approaches first. There are 2 sides to this. The first is not to only approach others, but to be approachable yourself. While this may seem obvious, your body language is a direct signal to everyone else about your energy level. In other words, do you want to be disturbed or not? Okay, here are some things you should be aware of if you want to be more approachable to increase your chance of meeting new people while traveling solo. First, avoid using electronic devices. If you're glued to your phone or computer, or if you have your headphones in, this is a dead giveaway that you do not want to be disturbed. Second, avoid closed-off body language. This includes crossing your arms or legs, rotating your torso and shoulders away from others, and in some case, the direction in which you point your feet. Third, good body posture. Apart from this being good for your physical health, keeping your head up increases the likeliness for eye contact. Also, by standing or sitting up straight, this shows that you're engaged and not bored. And a quick bonus, to smile. Smiling is a universal expression and can brighten up anyone's day, and definitely makes you appear happier and more approachable. So go ahead and show off them pearly whites. Again, these may seem like no-brainers, but they dramatically increase the likelihood of starting conversations with new people. Okay, now let's discuss actually approaching other people. This can seem really intimidating and scary, even for me, especially if it's an attractive person of the opposite gender. However, the mindset I always go in with is that I'll probably never ever see this person again. So what do I have to lose? That's right, nothing. While this mindset is a good start, it's even easier to approach people when you have some go-to phrases to ask. Now, before I share them, to be clear, all situations are different, so these will not work in every single situation. Okay, so some of the most effective phrase tactics I've used when approaching others include 1. Give a compliment followed by asking a genuine question. For example, I really like your backpack. It's really stylish. What's the brand name and where did you find it? One personal example that I commonly use is when I see a woman with a Pandora charm bracelet, is that I'll say, hey, I love your Pandora charm bracelet. My mom has one too, and I get her specific charms from all over the world. Do you have a favorite charm? Second, ask if you can join. As the saying goes, the more the merrier. More often than not, if you ask to join a group of people, whether they are socializing or doing an activity together, they will say yes, especially if you're carrying a six-pack of beer in your hand too. It's important to not just assume and join because that can lead to an awkward situation. Third, introduce yourself. Again, another no-brainer, but saying your name and maybe where you're from, this opens the door for the other person to connect with you and shows that you're interested in making friends with them. Lastly, a good way to keep the conversation going is using the tactic of mirroring. Commonly used in negotiation, but also effective in conversations, it's just simply repeating the last 1 to 3 words of what somebody said. When you get good at mirroring, you'll be able to pick 1 to 3 words from anywhere in the conversation. This makes the other person feel listened to and that you are truly engaged in the conversation. Okay, now that we have down some of the most effective approaches, let's discuss a few effective mindsets for making new friends while traveling. The first one, be spontaneous and open-minded. This means don't plan out your entire trip because this doesn't allow for flexibility. This goes along the lines of being open-minded and saying yes to things that you may be on the fence about doing. In my personal experience, more often than not, these experiences turn out to be a wild time. For example, if your friend asks you to go to a new restaurant they found, but you have plans that night, either invite them to your plans or try and reschedule for an earlier time or the following day. And also, I highly recommend inviting others to your plans, even if it's just for going to a walk to explore or grabbing lunch, whatever it may be. The reason being is that people want to feel included, so invite them. Second, remember their names. I can't say this enough. Remember their name. This is a big one, but almost everyone drops the ball here, including myself sometimes. It's just a really easy way to impress them later on when they've already forgotten your name. Plus, if you don't remember their name, it can lead to an awkward situation. Third, set a personal rule. One rule that I've set in the past while solo traveling is to make a point of talking to at least one stranger every single day. This tiny rule has helped me make a ton of friends. Another effective rule is that if you're solo traveling is to avoid sitting at a table and instead sit at the bar, as this makes you more approachable. Okay, that's pretty much the high level for effective approaches and mindsets when trying to meet people and make friends while traveling solo or abroad. Next up, we're going to discuss some experiences that you can join to put yourself in situations where you're most likely to meet similar, like-minded people. It's no secret that one of the best ways to find new friends while traveling is to actually do the things you love to do. So, if you love to do yoga, take some local classes. Or if you enjoy weekend trips and excursions, then book those. There's a strong chance that by putting yourself in these specific situations, you'll be able to meet like-minded people and strike up a conversation over those shared experiences. Okay, with that in mind, I want to share some of the most common experiences that you can do to meet new people. The first one being exercise. Whether this be going to the gym or the park, for a run or walk or a bike ride, people care about their health and it's something easy to bond over. Second, skilled activities. This is a bit more advanced than general exercise, but common examples include scuba diving, dancing lessons, or even other recreational sports. Some of the best friends I made in Phuket, Thailand were from Muay Thai fighting classes. Third, walking tours. One of the first things that I do when I arrive in a new city is go on a free walking tour. Obviously you tip at the end if you haven't experienced one already, but it's a great way to learn the history and culture of the area and also be surrounded by new people for a few hours. At the very least, get the phone number of the guide to ask for recommendations or tips. 4. Day or group trips. Another great way to be surrounded by new people is by going on day trips and group tours. If you think about it, you all paid to have a similar experience, so why not meet new people and share the experience together? Some incredible local experiences where I've made new friends while traveling include taking a day trip to Chichen Itza, an off-the-grid weekend in the Rosario Islands at Casa del Agua, and visiting an elephant sanctuary in Thailand and learning to make papaya salad. Pro tip, Airbnb has a whole section on their website dedicated to local experiences. I highly recommend booking a local organized cooking class or an outdoor experience through them. 5. Social events. Pretty much wherever you are in the world, there are opportunities to do volunteer or work exchanges. A good website for volunteering and work exchanges is Worldpackers. Both options are very popular and effective ways to quickly make new friends. Also, other social events include local celebrations, Facebook events, or one of my highly recommended tools called Meetup, where you can take part or host social events. Or it can be on the more extreme side, such as a music festival, obviously pre-COVID. And last, but certainly not least, is public transit. While I can't help but laugh a little bit when saying this, one unique place where I've met people is when using public transportation. Whether it be asking for directions, passing the time by talking about how either good or bad the transportation is, it can definitely be an easy way to strike up a new conversation with a new person. Okay, when it comes to experiences, as the famous saying goes, birds of a feather flock together. So stay true to what you like to do and be open to trying new experiences. And meeting people and making friends as you solo travel will come as a byproduct. Okay, now it's time to discuss shared accommodation and shared spaces. Hands down, one of the best ways to make new friends while traveling solo is staying in hostels. Now I know, some people don't love the idea of staying in a dorm room setting. However, if you've never tried it, I recommend giving it a shot because you don't know unless you try. It's definitely one of the cheapest travel accommodations if you're on a budget too. When deciding whether to book any hostel, I highly recommend looking at their online reviews, usually on hostelworld.com or a social review site, so you can find out if they're a party hostel or not. This is important because if you prioritize not being in a loud environment and usually go to bed at an early or set time, then you probably don't want to be in a party hostel. For me, I actually prefer Airbnb monthly rentals because I can negotiate the price and usually save over 50%. If you haven't seen my video on how to negotiate and save money on your next Airbnb stay, then I highly recommend checking it out by clicking up here. Because I'm a fan of Airbnb rentals, what I've done before is stay in a hostel for the first few nights in that location, make some friends, get to know the area, and then book a monthly rental on Airbnb. Okay, so if you do decide to stay in a hostel, there are several opportunities you can use to meet new people and make friends while you're there. The easiest place to make friends without any effort is in your dorm room. You can stay in a big dorm room, which is usually cheaper, and when you meet people, introduce yourself, and again, remember their name. Some additional ideas to meet new people include showing up for the breakfast if they offer it, hanging out and working in common areas, joining hostel activities such as bar crawls, trivia nights, etc., and bringing things to share, such as food, alcohol, cards, cigarettes. Okay, now let's discuss other shared accommodations. I won't dive too deep into each of these as I did with hostels, but they're all easy ways to meet new people and make friends while traveling solo. These shared accommodation options include couchsurfing. Usually an inexpensive option, it's the perfect way to meet people and stay with locals. I'll be honest, I haven't personally used it, but I've heard hit or miss stories with it, so check out the reviews of the places first. Second, trusted house sitters. This is a bit more of a selection process, but essentially you can watch someone's pet in exchange for staying at their home while they're gone on vacation or elsewhere. This is definitely more competitive, but the upside is that it can be rent-free. Third, co-living spaces. If you don't know about co-living, it's the trend of living with many other people in one space that encourages its residents to interact and work together. These are usually run by companies and have become a trend in response to the increasing number of young people moving to expensive cities in search of work. In other words, co-living is a shared space where residents with similar interests and intentions and values share a living space which tries to emulate a big family feeling. If you're looking at co-living spaces, I highly recommend checking out coliving.com. Next, Airbnb private rooms. While most individuals usually rent or stay at an entire place, one option is to rent a private room so you have your own space, but also you get the opportunity to meet others staying there or potentially make friends with the host, who's usually a local and most likely has a ton of tips and recommendations that they can share with you. Okay, last up is shared spaces. Simply put, these are public or common areas. So, next time you think about reading, journaling, having some coffee, or just going out to clear your mind, I highly recommend going to a public place. This could include, but is not limited to going to a park, a local coffee shop, or to the mall. Or, if you're looking for a new work environment, I highly recommend checking out co-working spaces for a day or two before booking an entire month pass. Some global co-working spaces include WeWork and Selena, but there are also several great options depending on where you are. Okay, next up, we're going to discuss online communities and resources where you can meet new people and make friends while traveling solo. I'm not going to lie to you, there are literally hundreds of options I could share with you here. But for the sake of time, I'm going to categorize and focus on the most popular online communities that you can join to make new friends while traveling solo. These online community types include travel programs, Facebook groups, online forum communities, and mobile apps. While there's so many great options to choose from, it really comes down to what community format and structure you are most comfortable with. That being said, there is definitely something for everyone here. Let's first start with travel programs. For context, these are usually application-based, pay-to-join programs in which you are first vetted out to make sure you're a good fit for the program. Then it usually requires a deposit, followed by a fixed fee, which usually is a monthly fee that pays for your accommodation, a co-working space, and major transportation, such as flights. Some of the top work and travel abroad programs and retreats out there are Remote Year, Wi-Fi Tribe, Hackers Paradise, Nomad Cruise, Work Wonders, and Co-workation. Unfortunately, COVID has affected these programs and limited their itineraries, but they're still an excellent way to not only meet new people, but also travel with them too. Which in my opinion, when you live with someone in more than one country, it inherently adds a layer to your friendship. To be clear, the biggest value propositions of these companies is their community. The travel costs are usually inflated in comparison to finding your own accommodation, co-working space, transportation, etc., but this is necessary so these companies can be profitable. Okay, next up is Facebook groups. While Facebook groups are a great resource for pretty much everything, they're especially helpful for making new friends while traveling solo. The best way to find these is by going to Facebook and searching the name of the place you're living in, followed by the following keywords: digital nomads, expats. Additionally, there are world travel / digital nomad Facebook groups that are another easy way to connect and make friends. Some of my top recommended groups include Female Digital Nomads, Global Digital Nomad Network, Digital Nomads Around the World. Pro tip, you can also join local, location-based groups such as Playa del Carmen Locals too. These are a great source for finding some golden nuggets of information such as effective transportation methods, local ordinances and restrictions, local celebration details, etc. P.S. Just make sure to follow the group rules, otherwise you'll probably be kicked out. Okay, now let's discuss online forum communities. Again, there are a ton of great options here, so I'm only going to focus on the most prominent ones. The first big travel community is Nomad List. Not only is it cool to track your travel history, see digital nomad scores on specific places, but it's a great way to connect with people that are going to be in your city. The best thing to do here is to send a message through their Slack community. Here's an effective outreach message that I direct message to people that are in the same location as me. You can pretty much use the script within any online community. P.S. Nomad List is a paid community. Other notorious online communities include Reddit. If you haven't heard of Reddit, you're probably living under a rock. And if you are, that's okay. I'm sure it's a nice rock. Either way, Reddit is a great place to go for digital nomad and solo travel information, along with meeting up with the people that are traveling and currently staying in that same area. Some popular subreddits include solo travel, digital nomad, and expats. Okay, the next online community is ShowAround. ShowAround connects all types of travelers, whether it be solo individuals, digital nomads, study abroads, expats, etc. They connect them with locals who are willing to show you around their home cities. Please note that some hosts do charge for their time, but there are plenty of hosts who are willing to share their city and knowledge of the culture for free. And the last online community is Trip Giraffe. What's cool about Trip Giraffe, besides their name and their Instagram profile having pictures of a giraffe with aviator sunglasses all over the world, is that you can create a trip and invite other solo travelers to join you. Or you can search through the tons of other existing trips and join the ones you like the most. Okay, the last online community type is mobile apps. It may be hard to believe, but one of my top travel stories of all time, in which I was kidnapped, blindfolded, and stranded on a mountain in Greece without any money or a phone, all happened because of a mobile app. Yes, it was a dating app, and yes, it was Bumble. And spoiler alert, it was for a TV show. While most people disregard mobile apps as a source to make new friends, it's easily one of the most effective ways to meet new people. And yes, there are apps designed for travel that aren't just the classic dating apps such as Tinder, Bumble, or Facebook Match, even though those dating apps can be used for finding casual friendships of the same or opposite gender. Other popular solo traveler apps include Torlina. With the Torlina app, women can find interesting and entertaining female travel companions and locals within a secure and trusted network. Torlina has a safety verification process before you can begin swiping on other female travelers. Think of it as like Tinder, but exclusively for female travel buddies. The next one is Travello, a social network for travelers. Travello uses your travel interests to match you with other solo travelers. It's designed for a broad range of travelers, including urban tourists, digital nomads, expats, travel abroad students, backpackers, and gap year individuals. Next one is Flip the Trip. Flip the Trip is specifically a great option for finding travel friends for your future trips. Other solo traveler mobile apps I've heard of but have poor App Store reviews are Backpacker R, Chirpy, and Solo Traveler. So feel free to check them out, but be fair warned. As you may be able to tell by now, I'm the type of person that loves to under-promise and over-deliver. So I've included a few bonus items to help you meet new people and make friends while traveling solo or abroad. First bonus is to use your network. The two big things here are to leverage your own network and your friends' network. Warm introductions are usually the best, and if they're friends of your friends, chances are you'll like them too. Some effective ways to do this are posting on social media. Friends love connecting you to other friends because it shows that they're a good friend. So what that means in your post or your story, which I recommend Instagram stories, is to ask your friends if they know anyone in the area to connect them to you. Second, change your social media bio. One popular thing amongst travelers is posting their location in their bio, so it makes other people aware that they might be in the same city as you. Third, search through your phone. This is simply opening up that contact list of yours and scrolling through to see if anyone might be there, or there's a friend who you can message who might have a friend in that place that you're in. The second bonus is language communities. If you're learning a new language and living in a new location, then this is a home run. For example, I'm learning Spanish, and I have a rockstar tutor that's not only shown me around her city, but also has introduced me to her friends. Additionally, there are language communities where you can find a tutor in your area. Top communities include Italki, Linguaholic, Preply, Language Exchange Community, and Polyglot Club. Okay, before we wrap up this video on easy ways to meet people and make friends while traveling solo, I want to share my biggest takeaway here and pretty much the underlying objective of this video. And that is to not stress about making friends and meeting new people because it'll happen and you don't need to force it. So don't get stressed about something you can't control. Instead, focus on what you can control and travel with the intent of exploring new locations, having new experiences, and most importantly, working on yourself and your independence. By being yourself, people will naturally gravitate towards you. And since you're a solo traveler, if you aren't digging the vibe of the place and the people, then just move on. You have the freedom and flexibility to do so. Okay, at this point, I'm excited for you because you're well equipped to now put yourself in positions to meet new people and make friends while solo traveling. And if you're ever in the same city as me, you'll always have a friend. Just message me on YouTube, DM me on Instagram, or my email is linked in the video description. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just click on the button below. Also, if you're looking for work from home and travel secrets and shortcuts that I only share with subscribers, head over to newrichnomads.com.
Join the newsletter!
It's free. Now I want to hear from you. What tactics from today's video are you going to try first? Are you going to join a digital nomad community? Are you going to sign up for a local event? Are you going to post on social media and leverage your network to find more people? Whatever it may be, I want to hear from you by leaving a comment below.
Or are you going to join the newsletter?
Meeting people and making friends while traveling solo? It may be hard to believe, but making people to work from home and travel the world only found subscribers.
Join the newsletter!
I didn't get there yet.
Oh,